Go. The ME163 holds the distinction of being the first and only tailless rocket-powered interceptor to see operational service.
The ME163 Komet flight tested in 1941 and was the only jet-powered glider/fighter aircraft to see the World War II. It also was the fastest aircraft of the war with a speed of 1,130 kilometers per hour, or 702 miles per hour. Its speed record would not be broken until after the war in 1947, and it would be during a flight with the Bell X-1A, which had a speed of 1,434 kilometers per hour, or 891 miles per hour.
The very small propeller on the front of the aircraft is not actually a propeller. It is a windmill used to power the radio and other various electronics of the aircraft. The aircraft is a wind and rocket powered, meaning it's a glider with a rocket engine.
Nazi Germany supported the work of rocket engine designer Helmuth Walter, issuing a contract in 1936 for his development of the rocket engine. Walter's 1,653-pound thrust engine, the Walter RLL-203 rocket motor, was used in the ME-163 Komet interceptor. The engine employed a hot system in which the oxygen was ignited for additional thrust and better fuel efficiency. As fuel passed through the Walter's motor, pumps areas of vacuum could form in the liquid. This could and did cause catastrophic explosions when the motor was started. Once in the air, the aircraft's climb rate provided remarkable, but compressibility problems limited its safe speed to a dive below Mach 0.82. The Komet used C-Stoff and T-Stoff, fuels which are both highly corrosive liquids, which ignite when combined together. Just to refuel it, two trucks had to enter and exit separately. Pilots had to wear specialized rubber suits. Even that wasn't enough to protect test pilots who turned into jelly when exposed to the fuels. Over 1,000 liters of C-Stoff was stored right behind the pilot's seat, and 120 liters of T-Stoff on both sides of the pilot's cockpit. Pilots still felt leery. One of the pilots described as sitting in a tin coffin. The Komet's armament consisted of 5 cannons mounted on each wing. There was a photocell on top of the aircraft that would sense a change in light when an enemy plane was above it. The 10 cannons are mounted upwards to fire on enemy aircraft above, with the barrels of it being ejected downwards, making it recoilless. Remarkably, this was only used once in combat in 1945, taking down a Lancaster bomber. The landing gear for the Komet consisted of a dolly fitted to a skid. Once the aircraft took off, the dolly was jettisoned off the aircraft, but the Komet's permanent landing gear was the skid. The skid's suspension was an Ollie pneumatic strut, which is still used in common military aircraft. But if the manual Ollie pneumatic strut was accidentally left in a locked position, the pilot was in for a difficult landing. This 31-year-old Luftwaffe ace and the recipient of the Knight's Cross, in 1943 during one of his ME-163 Komet test flights, the dolly was jettisoned off too early and bounced off the runway into the bottom of the aircraft. This ruptured the T-Stoff line, which shut down the engine, so he was forced to glide into an emergency landing. Another pilot coming to his aid found Joseph drenched in T-Stoff. His right arm was dissolved to nothing, and his other arm and head were soft mass of jelly.